स्टूडेंट्स फर्स्ट, स्टूडेंट्स सबसे पहले। बस यही मोटिव रहा है टॉप रैंकर्स का, सुपर ग्रैड्स का। इस बार भी जब आईपीएम प्रोग्राम आईएम अमृतसर लेके आया तो हमने सबसे पहले सोचा कि स्टूडेंट्स फर्स्ट होने चाहिए। इसकी वजह से हमने खुद आईपीएम चेयर आईएम अमृतसर को यहां इनवाइट किया और उनसे कुछ तीखे सवाल किए। इस आईएम अमृतसर के नए आईपीएम प्रोग्राम के बारे में हमने वो सारे क्वेश्चंस पूछे जो कि आपके मन में चल रहे थे। आज इस एपिसोड को बिल्कुल मिस मत करिएगा, क्योंकि आईएम अमृतसर का वार्म वेलकम किया है सुपर ग्रैड्स ने अपने प्लेटफॉर्म में, लेकिन हमारे लिए नहीं, आपके लिए, बिकॉज स्टूडेंट्स ऑलवेज फर्स्ट। Stick till the end and subscribe Super Grads YouTube channel if you haven't done till now.
Very warm welcome, Chitresh sir, and let me introduce him to the audiences right now. He's currently Assistant Professor Economics at IIM Amritsar, has spent about a decade in the financial sector working in the areas of financial appraisal of industry projects and strategic consultancy in the MSME sector. He has a PhD in economics from IIM Bangalore. A very, very warm welcome on Supergrads platform. We also have Anil sir who has joined in to have a one-on-one conversation with Chetan sir. And I'm quite sure this particular episode is going to be really, really interesting. So the first question from Supergrads platform for Chetan sir is, IIM Amritsar recently introduced its IPM program, sir. Okay, but what I can see, you already made mathematics as a mandate for the students. So students cannot write the IBMET Indore examination if they do not have the mathematics as an option with them for IIM Amritsar's program. Secondly, there was one more observation that it was a specialized program. The only IIM that's giving these specialized program, that is Bachelor of Science in Quantitative Finance and Economics. I would like to understand the rationale behind it. I mean, what type of student do you exactly need in this particular program?
Yes, firstly, thank you, Rahul, for having me on the show. I mean, the work that you people are doing in terms of disseminating the right kind of information about our programs is really valuable. Right? It really helps students to take very informed decisions about their careers. So, congratulations on your work and thank you for giving me this opportunity. Coming to your question, yes, this is a very specialized program, and so what we thought was, so what kind of student should be looking at this program? So we are looking at the students who are, one, interested in mathematics, right? Problem solving, some kind of a higher mathematics, and looking at some challenging options outside of engineering to apply their math skills. Right. So today, if you look at the undergrad scenario, outside the engineering programs, there's hardly anything where a mathematics interested student can apply his or her skills. Right. When I say mathematics, I also include statistics and all other related.
Yeah.
Right. So, so we thought that was one set of students to whom we should cater to. Coming to the vision or the thinking behind the program. Well, if you look at the undergrad space today, undergrad education space today, right? Again, this is a space which is buzzing with talent and skills, right? But we think that the kind of opportunities that are being offered at the undergrad level are pretty much limited, considering the size of the student base.
Right.
So therefore, we thought that launching an undergrad program which is challenging enough for students outside the engineering space is something we should look into. So that was the broad thought process. We will come to the details as we go ahead.
All right. One more question or in fact, a subsequent question that comes into my mind, that why BSQFE? You know, I mean, Bachelor of Science, Quantitative Finance in Economics, and not a normal BBA. Don't you think it's an immensely passion-driven career? And, you know, students will not exactly take this particular course unless and until they have interest in these core areas.
Well, yes and no. Yes, because yes, it is a very focused program. We are looking at students who are, as I said, passionate about finance, economics, about application of mathematics, statistics, computing, and that domain, right? We also, so we also had in mind that what kind of avenues does this open, this
Right.
program open,
Right.
right? So one is the plain and simple avenue which is being offered, right? You can do your BSQFE and then you can graduate into a regular MBA program.
Right.
All right. So that avenue is still open. So all those who want to, take that track, take leadership positions in corporates, which is what quite a few of the students end up doing. People who take engineering, people who take BBA, people who take BCom, that is the track that you follow. All right. One issue which we faced in this track, I mean, I'm sure most professors in IIMs would agree with me that in the classroom, right, you have this typical two states movie scenario. You
Right.
remember the movie, right?
Yeah.
So there's this Alia Bhatt who comes as a graduate in economics, and there is this Arjun Kapoor who comes as a graduate in engineering, and then the scene unfolds that
First, yeah.
yeah. So we have students from BBA, BCom, BA Economics, or whatever other related programs who have very good understanding of the concepts,
All right.
but they lack the necessary problem-solving skills or numerical skills to tackle the problems, right? The real-life
Right.
problems, right? Whereas you have engineers who have excellent math and stat skills, but then they at least in the initial years, the whole language of finance, economics, marketing is new to them.
Very
Right?
new, yeah.
So we thought that there is a need for a program which blends the two together: a good math stats background plus good skills in management related domains. Also, and we are all hearing these things that we are all getting into a data driven world. All your decisions are going to be data driven, from machine learning to analytics to now AI modeling and so on and so forth. Uh, so modeling skills, mathematical modeling skills, statistical techniques, application of statistical techniques, I think is going to be imperative if you want to stay in this domain, right?
Right.
And get some leadership positions. Two, we also think that to start with, we had this feeling that finance is one of those disciplines which is quite up there in application of these tools. Right? You have algorithmic trading, you have high frequency trading, you have issues of understanding and managing risks coming from various sources. In the banking sector, we are now almost global. I mean, we are global in many sense. So the banks would want to conduct stress tests on their assets and so on and so forth. These are all very highly math, stat, computing domains. Computing techniques applied on a finance domain. Right. So that is why we selected finance as the first kind of go-to domain where you can apply these kind of quantitative techniques, and also economics.
Something that's clicking my mind right now, sir. What kind of opportunities is it going to unlock for the students? Because I was just going through the research. I was doing the secondary research on this particular degree. I checked that University of Washington is running this particular program. Not only that, I also saw that this is opening doors for investment banking as well, right? So if you can throw some light on those areas too.
Yes, you're right. I mean, worldwide, these kind of degrees are pretty high in demand, right? In University of Washington in US has a very good program on quantitative finance. Closer to home, our ISI runs a MSQE program, a master's in quantitative economics. All right. So these are all skills in very high demand. As you rightly said, investment banking is one of the options. Asset management not at an individual level perhaps, but at a corporate level. So if I want to look at the asset management portfolio of a multinational bank, all right, then I would need the kind of skills that this program offers, or risk management, actuarial sciences. Coming to economics domain, most major banks today have a very strong economic research wing. So those kind of jobs or those kind of opportunities become open to you.
All the names that you're
So,
taking, sir, I'm sorry for interrupting you in between, are immensely high paying jobs, sir. So should we, okay, let us ask this particular question when we'll be asking you the placement part. So
sure.
should students be immensely complacent enough that, I'm going to get heavy money once I come out of this particular program, because investment banking, actuarial sciences are being paid humongously high in the domain. Okay, so yeah, please continue. I'm sorry for interrupting you in between.
No, so that's what I was trying to say, that these are some of the, so uh, according to us, like three tracks open out to you and one ancillary track, which we are not really aiming at, but it will open out to you. One is what is on the offer, what I would call as a vanilla uh, BSc plus MBA track, all right?
Okay.
So that opens out the whole MBA opportunities for you, right? So which is we are very well familiar with. In addition to that, it also opens out, as you rightly pointed out, those MS Finance kind of domains for you. It also opens out the economics postgraduate or degree, research programs for you. And as a side track, I would say it also opens out core analytics for you. All right. So these are, I think, the four major tracks that open out to you once you go through this kind of an offering.
It's quite interesting. Let me ask you this. I mean, are you even further thinking of opening these tracks in the future for the students, or is it too early to ask this particular question?
Right now, it is too early. I mean, right now we just are offering, as our website says, a BSc plus that MBA dual
MBA
degree
part.
program. Right.
Yeah.
But we are also contemplating internally, and at some point of time, maybe by the time the first batch reaches the MBA part, we are contemplating that. Um, Look, some of the subjects offered in a very standard MBA curriculum, these students would have done it at their undergrad level, right? Like basic statistics, basic maths, basic finance and accounting, basic economics. Then what do these students do in that particular space or time?
Yes, yeah.
Right. So we are planning to offer some kind of a research track and look at a 4-year exit option with a BSc honors with research or some kind of that option. Also, if in lieu of these courses, if they can take further advanced courses in finance or economics, that can be thought of, right? But these are all still plans under consideration. Right now, the offer is only BSc Quantitative Finance and Economics plus MBA dual degree.
So points rightly being made by Chetan sir over here, or they may also consider opening few more tracks for this particular category of students who are undergrads over here. Perhaps because the offerings are so strong that they are making an individual smarter than a normal MBA grad. That is something that I'm taking out from this particular conversation. All right. My next question to you, sir.
That's our aim, certainly. That's our aim, certainly.
All right. My next question to you, sir, is that whenever we say IPM, something that comes in student mind space immediately is IIM Indore, and because they have known that particular program since years now. So if you can state the similarities and differences the IPM program of IIM Amritsar is bringing in when you compare it with IIM Indore, because that's going to give clear picture to the students right now, because they do not know much about quantitative finance and economics and everything. So in layman terms, if you can compare it with IIM Indore's IPM program.
Yes, and thank you so much for asking this question, because the kind of mails that I'm receiving at my end, we are sensing this confusion in the minds of students.
Right.
So yes, we fall under the broad umbrella of integrated programming management, because it's a bundling together of an undergraduate degree with a postgraduate in management discipline, right? So we are under that broad umbrella. Our the MBA offering is going to be pretty much similar to what is offered at Indore or some of the other IIMs, right? And even with our own MBA program, right? We'll offer very similar MBA degree. So to that extent, we are similar. But there are major differences in the undergraduate part, the first 3 years of the programs, right? From what I understand, most of the IIMs, including Indore today, are offering a general management program.
Yeah, right? It's a general
BA Foundations in Management, BMS, or BBM. under whatever name that. This program is very much focused on finance and economics, right? And all the necessary tools. When I say tools, I mean the quantitative and computing tools that you will uh, in order to um, get into the domain of finance and right. So this is the So this is the kind of focus of the program. I have also been receiving a lot of mails saying people have not really appreciated why we have made mathematics as a compulsory.
Yeah.
Right? So also let me kind of tell the audience and the prospective candidates through your channel that though very soon we will be putting up a detailed term-wise curriculum on our website, but an indicative list of subjects is already there, right? You can have a look at it. It's almost like you will be studying 6 to 8 subjects over a 3-year period, which are exclusively coming from mathematics and statistics domain. All right. So, I mean, and then you will be applying these concepts in the finance and economics subjects that you're studying, right? So the first 2 years will be you will be creating a strong foundation in math, stats, and computing, and the final year will be a specialization in. Obviously, the first 2 years will also give you foundations in finance and economics, but also in these other domains, right? So in that sense, this program is the undergraduate part of this program is very different from, I think, what is being offered by other IIMs.
Other IIMs, yeah. So, point well taken. And in fact, we have already communicated this via our channel that mathematics is a mandate because you are teaching subjects where mathematics is the backbone already. I mean, econometrics I could see in your curriculum, and I have also seen there are some subjects that non-math grads cannot study. They are the part of the curriculum already. I would like to ask you one more question, sir. I mean, because you haven't mentioned till now, what is the total seat intake of this particular program?
Yeah, so we are going to start small in comparison to the other IIMs. We are taking a strength of batch size of 60 to start.
Batch size of 60. So yes, it's a revelation from coming directly from IPM chair of IIM Amritsar that 60 seats are there in IIM Amritsar's IPM program to begin with, and they may ponder on increasing the number of seats in the upcoming years based on the response they get from the students. Now, next question. I also saw a foreign immersion program on the website, sir. So if you can throw some light on the foreign exchange program as well, and is it a foreign exchange program or immersion program, or if they are different, then what is the difference between these two?
Well, right now what we have for our MBA students is we have a dual degree program with Kedge Business School in France.
Oh, right? Kedge. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So our students, they spend, I think after term 4 of their MBA, they go to Kedge, and whatever credits are accumulated here, they get kind of credit equivalence there. And within whatever 6 months or 9 months, they can complete they get an MBA degree from IIM Amritsar also. They get another degree from Kedge Business School also.
Kedge as well, right. Yeah.
So that's the program that we have currently working for our MBA students. So obviously this batch, the IPM batch, when it reaches the MBA stage, that same thing will be offered for them. We are also in talks with HSC in Russia, which is one of the leading school of economics and finance. We are also in talks with the University of Maryland. These are plans which are right now there at discussion stage. So as and when these plans are for concrete, both our current MBA students as well as the IPM students.
I'm being a bit inquisitive over here, so because I know the curriculum of Kedge Business School as well. Should we spend a period of time in Marseille in France, if I'm not wrong? Yes. So is it going to be the offerings are similar over here as well in the dual degree program which you're talking about? If you can throw some light on that particular part also. So some part is being spent in India, then some part in Marseille in France, because I've already gone through that particular brochure. Yeah, if you can throw some light. Yeah.
Yes, precisely. So I think they have a 2-year master's program there, out of which you kind of get an advantage of 1 year, and you can finish it in about 9 months' time. All right. So it's precisely the same program that we are talking.
Okay. All right, sir. Now over to Anil, sir, because he wishes to ask some questions related to CATS as well and related to the
Sure.
program as well. Over to you, Anil, sir.
Sure.
Yeah, thank you, Rahul.
Yes.
Chetan sir, welcome once again from my side on this channel.
Thank you.
So I take maths only at IP Mat students.
Oh, wonderful.
So I got some questions. First of all, congratulations for bringing such a fantastic course. And a lot of students were waiting here, which I will bring next IPM program. So the name was I'm Amritsar, right? So thanks for launching it and congratulations. So everybody is looking forward for this program, sir. So I got some questions. The first question is the admission policy says that 60% weightage will be given to math section, and the exam that you will be taking scorecard from is IPMAT Indore. So IPMAT Indore has got two sections of maths and one for English. So if we are saying the 60% weightage of maths, so it would be collective marks that the students score in two sections of maths, weightage 60% weightage of those two, or that is a bit confusion if you can tell us. And secondly, will you be taking the sectional cutoff as Indore takes, or it would be overall cutoff that Amritsar will take for shortlisting students for interviews?
Okay. Firstly, to answer the earlier part of your question, no, the 60% is 30% for the first part and 30% for the second.
Got
All
it.
right.
Okay.
And 40% for verbal
Verbally.
skills,
Got
right?
it. Got it.
That is as far as cutoff is concerned, we do not have any cutoff limit as such, right? Or a number in mind. So the way we are going to do it, and thanks for pointing this out, I need to put up a clarification on my website that the way we compute your marks is this: that whatever applications we get, all right, the maximum and minimum from our pool of applicants will be the range of marks that we will consider.
Okay.
Oh,
Right?
it's a
So
big announcement, I think, because
yes,
till now what we were considering, sir, it is 30%.
no,
And
no.
if it is
So
30,
30% is the weight,
okay,
but it is not the marks in the IPMAT, right? So if, let's say, for example, I have a scale of 10.
right,
So out of my pool of applicants, I will give 10 marks to somebody who has got the maximum marks in my pool of applicants, and 1 mark to somebody who is at the minimal,
minimum,
right?
yeah.
Fantastic.
Right. And then I will scale up the entire pool on that basis.
So is
Right.
it about
And
is it
give
among the
that-
categories, or are you going to consider every category as a separate category?
No, it is for the scaling part, it is universal.
Universal. Okay. All right.
Now, on the basis of that, I will calculate your test score, right?
Okay.
Scale score in each component multiplied by the weight of that component. All right.
Okay.
So let us say, for example, I am a topper in whatever verbal ability. I get 10 marks. Those 10 marks get 40% weight, right? And I calculate a scale score
Scale score only.
of the candidate, right? And then on the basis of that scale score, there will be individual category-wise cutoffs announced, right? So the shortlisting will be done on the basis of the scale score, but that shortlisting will be category-wise. So,
Okay.
The general category will have its own pool of participants, and there will be a cutoff for or shortlist for general category based on that score. For say SC/ST category, there will be a cutoff separately for based on the scale score.
But one
clear?
thing is still not clear, sir. Will there be
Okay.
sectional cutoffs? It means you are admitting that there will be sectional cutoffs, because implicitly you're mentioning 30%, 30%, 40%. So
Yes.
if we are putting that weight, it is creating sectional cutoffs automatically, right?
Yes, I mean, it is giving sectional weightage. It is not giving
All
a
right.
sectional cutoff.
Okay.
All right? Is it? I hope
Okay,
I'm
Anil,
clear.
you can proceed.
Yeah, sir. Thank you for answering this question, sir. Next question is, as you said, and students perceive that I'm Indore have a lot of curriculums, right? That is very diverse diversity in the UG program. Similarly, what we have found out, like Amritsar is also going to provide these kind of offerings in their program, like uh, trending languages like R or Python from world of computing, and Rahul just said econometrics from data analytics and economic analysis, along with for language skills, critical writing skills, for creativity, social involvement, right, for projects for completely different sphere. So if you can tell us the objective behind this 360-degree pedagogy.
Yes, and I think you missed out one important component, and that is we are also offering a few subjects in other management disciplines as well, right? So the idea is to create a very well-rounded, high-skilled. I'm talking about the undergrad part of it,
Right.
right?
Yes.
The idea is to create a very well-rounded, high-skilled finance and economics professionals. All right. So the entire emphasis on R, Python, computing skills, on mathematics, statistics is geared towards you being a good finance and economics professional. Because we think that going forward, that is going to be a very key differentiator between in the finance and economics domain, right? The set of tools that you carry, right? In addition to that, you should also appreciate that this person is going to finally enter an organization, right? And that organization which will have its HR policies, there'll be marketing compulsions, there'll be if this is a corporate, then there's going to be some kind of a production happening, either service or goods or whatever. So in addition to being a finance professional, I should have some understanding of general management issues as well. All right. So there will be, to that extent, there will be some kind of an introductory marketing, introductory HR, introductory operations management kind of courses as well, so that you become a well-rounded, you're kind of ready to take leadership roles in places that you go.
Right, sir. So, any institute that no, we got inspiration from, or we just created this program pedagogy by having a discussion on forums at Amritsar, or we got some inspiration from some institutes abroad or in India while creating this program.
No, we did look at the kind of scenario which is prevailing in the undergrad education space, and we thought that this was a kind of a gap which needs to be filled, right? The immediate inspiration was obviously the MSQE from ISI, Indian Statistical Institute,
Yes,
right?
yes.
But as you rightly pointed out, there are several other MS Finance and quantitative finance focused MS courses abroad. So we thought that there is a need to equip commerce students, right, for good finance roles, right? Chartered accountancy and CS and all the other professional domains are there. But outside of that, if I'm not interested in accountancy and interested in finance, right? Right now, we did not see any very rigorous finance curriculum or economics curriculum. Or economics curriculums are there, of course, but we thought that a combination of this works really well.
Your answer is making me inquisitive. Sorry, that I'm interrupting you over here in between. But one question that's coming to my mind right now, you mentioned in the Statistical Institute, there's only one institute that's right now running its financial investment analysis program, and that is Shahid Sukhdev College of Business Studies. So there will be a lot of people who are from Delhi and particularly, are eyeing Shahid Sukhdev College of Business Studies. It becomes a good option for them as well. So if you can highlight few differences that you have over that particular program, BBA in financial investment analysis.
Yeah, so our program is also, apart from looking at financial analysis, that is, I think the economics component also is one of the key differentiators there. Because when you go to finance beyond a particular point, right, your understanding of the macroeconomic dynamics, your understanding of global trade dynamics, these things also play an important role. How bond markets function, how bond markets would affect your stock markets, or how government decisions or government policy decisions would affect your these markets, or gold investment, blah blah blah. So those kind of issues. So we think that uh, understanding of finance. So one is the quantitative aspect, right? That I'm creating a finance professional with a quantitative focus. This finance professional that we hope to create is also having a good understanding of global macro, not global, but even what is happening in the nation's macroeconomic environment, right? And I think that information is very key when you are, say, for example, looking at a stress test in the financial system.
Right.
That is something that you want to do. You need to have a very strong understanding of how the shocks perpetuate in an economy, what are the channels through which these shocks perpetuate, and so on and so on. Right. So I think that is going to be again, if I have to list down some differentiators, these are some of the differentiators.
Sir, as like IPM program at your institute would be joined by all 17, 18 years old students, kids, and they are very passionate now sometimes towards sports and extracurricular that they do in school. So, will we be introduced these into, will we make it part of curriculum at Amritsar? That is the question, sir.
Right, right. So yes, I mean, we will not have this as a part of curriculum, right? But as you would be aware, that we have a very strong and vibrant student community there. We recently concluded our annual fest Tarunya, which was entirely student managed, and we had some good stars, star performance performing there in the show. We also had this our annual sports fest, Kritansh, right? Our students regularly.
Okay.
Sorry?
Very unique Hindi names, very difficult.
Very unique.
Hindi names,
That's
yeah.
that's entirely creativity of
Okay.
our students.
Yeah, yeah,
Right?
true, true, true.
And they participate very regularly in all these inter IIM or inter institutional intercollegiate meets, etc., etc. Right. So obviously the IPM community that comes in will be part of this whole overall student community, and I mean I can assure the prospective students coming in that there's going to be no dearth of excitement on this count. Right?
Yeah,
Can you tell us something about the place, the campus also, sir, if that's a possibility?
Yes, sure, sure. So our campus is we have kind of started phased occupation of the campus now.
All
So
right.
the academic block has started. The hostels we are getting in. So by June 25, the second year of MBA will be completely on hostel on campus, right? Obviously, there are other hostels at other locations which we are managing, and we are managing perfectly well. On-campus hostels, we are kind of getting a phased movement.
So IPM students will be in the temporary place right now, and then they'll be shifted, or will they be starting from day one in the new campus?
The lectures will be starting from day one.
Okay.
The accommodation we will let you know very soon, right?
Okay, all right.
As and when because as you can the construction takes its own time. We always think it will be ready by this time, but it gets delayed for some reason or the other. But having said that, either on campus or off campus, the hostels that we run are obviously managed by us, and we will be providing hostel accommodation. Right. The only question will be whether it is on or off campus. But in terms of facilities, I'm sure both are equally good.
There is one question that runs in every IPM aspirant's mind. How is going to be my day over there? So if you can briefly explain us how a day in the life of IIM Amritsar's IPM aspirant is going to look like, in your words.
Well, I would say a typical day you will be, it's going to be a good mix of both hard work and fun. All
Hard
right.
work and fun.
Yeah,
Okay.
but you should not forget the former part. That is the that is something that, at least as a faculty, I will tell you.
All right.
So you would have about 4 hours of classroom sessions,
All right.
followed by 4 to 5 hours, depending upon the schedules, and then you will have your group assignments or individual assignments that you will have to work on. Uh, every week there will be some case study which you will have to read and get ready for the next session, and so on and so forth. So those kind of take home work will be there.
Okay.
Right. So you will typically spend, say, 2-3 hours on, and these are group assignments. So
Group assignments. Okay.
so many of these, at least, right? So you sit in with your friends or whatever group you have, and you discuss. साथ में whatever चाय हो जाता है and गपशप भी हो जाता है,
Right.
right? So
Chai
that
pe
kind of an environment,
Okay.
right? That kind of environment.
Right.
And then you will have if you are part of some interest group, like say photography club or some sports
Clubs.
club, then you will spend some time in those activities, organizing them, enjoying them. We have a reasonably good campus now, so or wherever the students are located, there are grounds where you can have your games or whatever other physical activities or walks or evening jogs or morning runs that you want to have. All right, so that's we hope to. I mean, even currently, our MBA students are having good mix of nice rigorous work for your brains, and in addition to that, some good amount of fun and physical activities. Right.
All right. The next one is can be a tougher question, sir, because you already promised placement assistance on the website. I would like to know, I mean, the nitty-gritties of it. I would like to know what kind of jobs are IIM Amritsar student going to get after completion of 5 years, and are you assuring them, good ROI as well as job security too?
Well, as an institution, our placement record is already there in the public domain, right? So I'm sure you have gone through it, and any aspirant coming to any IIM these days goes through, right? So it is up there. As far as opportunities for the IPM program are concerned, in addition to what is there in the MBA, so you would know that after the first year of MBA, there is a summer internship for 8 to 10 weeks. And at the end of the 2 years, you have your placement activities happening, and 100% of our batch has been placed. Batches in the past have been placed so far. In addition to this, what the IPM students will get is that at the end of your third year, right, which is when you complete your undergraduation, and if you decide to continue in the MBA program, right? So in that summer, you would get an additional summer internship from of about 8 to 10 weeks, right?
Okay.
So before you join your MBA, you would be doing about a 2 months or a kind of a summer internship, which kind of gives you a flavor of what is happening in the corporates and the general corporate environment before you enter the MBA curriculum.
And an option of PPO as well, if it's a possibility over there. No.
So as I said, this option is open only to students who continue to the MBA program.
Continue to the MBA program.
So
all right.
While the option of PPO can be considered, but then you still have another 2 years to graduate.
2 years of gap. Okay. Now I
and then you would get another summer internship after end of first year of MBA. So I don't know if corporates would want to give and the students would want to take that PPO. All right. So that's the kind of plans that we have for the IPM. Right? And in addition to that, there is going to be a social internship at the end of second year. So some kind of a social immersion projects, which even our MBA graduates do. So IPM students will be doing once at the end of second year and once again at the end of their fourth year. Fourth or I think term 5, I'm not sure. Right? So somewhere around that. So these are the kind of exposures. Apart from that, I'm sure you guys have done your homework. we have regular, industry interaction, where speakers and experts come to
The campus.
the campus and they give talks and so on and so forth. We have something like 7, 8 conclaves on different subjects. So there's a annual finance conclave, there is an annual marketing conclave, there's an annual productions and operations area conclave, and a few others, analytics conclave. All right, where it's a full day thing with speakers, the CXOs coming from industry and talking to our students and so on and so forth. So those kind of opportunities for industry interactions are already there, and the same will be open for our IPM students as well.
Great, sir. So, Chetan sir, if you can throw some light over your plans for the student clubs and committee. If yes, what kind of clubs and committees we are forcing? And if we are doing it, will it be an extension of what clubs and committee we have for PG students? Will it be extension of that, or will it start new foundation for the students?
Right. So you should understand that for a good club and committee or a good student activity, you also need a good, number. All right. So since we're starting with a small batch, initially it may not be a good idea to have committee for just 60 students. All right. So initially, in the initial phase, these students will be part of the overall campus environment.
Correct.
Right. So we have, as I said, we have a student council. We have a almost 10 plus interest clubs. Right. There's an entrepreneurship cell. There is a social work cell by the name Sankalp. And there is a finance and economics club. There is an analytics club, marketing club, photography club. We have a laughter cell, which organizes some interesting events every now and then. All right.
So all kinds of, if you can share some experiences, because it's interesting thing.
So they organize these stand-ups among students or some kind of a meme
open mics
competitions.
And all. Okay.
Open mics and all among students, right? So it's a these are, even our MBA students are 20 something. So it's a very vibrant kind of culture we have. And so obviously initially these students, IPM students, will have to be part of this, and we will ensure that they get their they get their say in the whole system. Gradually, as the program progresses, I mean, at some point of time, you will have like 180 in the first 3 years. We'll have about 180 students, and then you can think of independent committees and clubs for these students as well. But I mean, from our side, touchwood, from whatever has been happening in IIM Amritsar, we are all open to these kind of activities. It is just the students' imagination which will be a constraint, and their enthusiasm.
Right, sir. Sir, next question, sir. It is about the weightage again given to the interview part, the personal interview part in the admission process. So, what kind of questions student may expect during the interviews? Because when we train students for other IPM programs, so we train on 3 aspects. One is their academia that they study in 12th class. Second is general knowledge, and the third is HR questions, basically why IPM and sort of thing. 3 aspects we train. So, any specific thing you'll be?
Yeah, I mean, by and large, you have got it right, in the sense that what do you ask in any interview? What have you done in the past? And I would want to see how well you have done that. All right. So we will ask, as you rightly said, something on your 11th, 12th curriculum, right? And something around your, as you rightly said, again, general awareness, that part. You should also expect some questions on say, for example, because you are getting into the finance and economics domain, I would want to your general awareness questions would be more on the finance and economics side, right?
Okay.
So, for example, I would ask you, let's say if I'm doing the interview now, I'll ask you something about the budget.
Right.
Rather than asking you some random general awareness question, I would want to see whether you're tracking the budget or something.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So these kind of questions are generally asked. Also, an important thing that we evaluate during our interview rounds is your extracurriculars, right? So if you have taken part in some, district level, state level, tournaments, or you have
Extra points.
pursued your interest in, any particular hobby to some reasonable level. Say some people have done a certification in classical music or something of that sort, or any kind of. So that is also something that students should be ready to be questioned. I mean, discuss those kind of issues.
Right, sir.
Fair enough, I think.
Got
Yeah.
the answer, sir. Last question, sir, from my side. Would be any message from your side that you'd like to give to all those students who are not very sure about choosing this specialized program at your institute? For example, a student who prepared for let's say JEE and got let's 90 percentile, not happy to go to any NITs because he'll not get any decent NITs. So this is an option for him because he's a math student, but he's unsure about your offerings and the BSc program. Like he's not because he's a JEE kind of person, but can switch. So what kind of message like you'd like to give to those kind of students who are unsure about choosing?
Well, the first message that I would like to give to all the students in this particular age group is that follow your passion. I mean, this has been said time and again at various forums, and I would still want to say it once more. That if you think engineering is your calling, then please follow that, right? So that is because see, if I kind of step back a little and think broadly, every domain or every discipline today has what you would call as scope, right? You go into engineering, there are enough opportunities there. You go into management, there are enough opportunities. You become a chartered accountant, there are enough opportunities. And I've seen students of this particular age group getting into very innovative careers, right? Like somebody wants to work in the as a chef, somebody wants to get into bar,
Right.
mixing drinks or all kinds of
Culinary arts
innovative
and all.
careers.
Yeah.
Yeah, culinary arts and so on and so forth. So first, follow your passion, right? Two, as you rightly said, if you think you're someone who is passionate about maths or good at maths, loves to do maths and statistics, and is looking for options other than engineering, right? We get quite many students during our interviews for MBA that, well, I did 4 years of engineering, but in the second year I realized this is not for me.
Happens,
Kind of.
yeah, it happens.
Yeah, quite common. So if you are someone who is good at these things, interested in computing, coding, and looking at a different domain to apply these skills on, right? Then I would say you should certainly consider finance and economics as as one of the option. And as I said, we think this is a specialized program, but as I said, there are 3-4 different tracks that open out to you.
Right.
Right. One is the regular management and MBA track. One is the finance track. One is the econ track. One is the data analytics track. So there are multiple tracks which otherwise your BBA programs may or may not offer. I mean,
Not open.
you
Yeah.
can
I mean,
find
they
it
would
in-
not open, in fact. Yeah.
I mean, you can get in, but then you will not be as comfortable in an MS Finance course as a BSc Finance student. All right. I think the students considering options should keep these things in mind.
Thank you for answering, sir. Thank you.
And now, last question to conclude this particular meet. One thing that's not
Sure.
still mentioned on your website, but if you permit me, I'll ask, what is going to be the fee structure of this particular program? And are you going to consider some scholarships as well?
Yes, I mean, this is not going to be secret. I mean, we will obviously put it up on our website very soon.
All right.
We're just waiting for some administrative approvals for that. But I can tell you at this stage that the fees are going to be fairly comparable to what the other IIMs are asking. All right. As far as the undergrad fees are concerned, right? So it should be comparable to most of the other IIMs, and we will be putting them up on our website around middle of March or a little later, right? As far as scholarship is concerned, again, that is under consideration. Once the fees are finalized, we will have the scholarship program also. For our MBA program, we do have fairly good, merit-based scholarship program. We hope to replicate the same for the IPM program as well, right? In addition to this, we have good amount of corporate sponsored scholarship as well.
Right.
And as the program, as the IPM program establishes itself, I'm sure a lot of corporates, especially in the finance and economics domain, would want to come forward and sponsor our students. All right. So yes, these are still things under discussion. I mean, under various stages of administrative approval. So as and when things become clear, they'll be put up on the website.
I think it was a very, very intelligent conversation, sir. In fact, I'm thankful for the honesty that you have actually gotten over here. When you say, when Anil sir asks you and says कि वो student क्या करेगा जो कि mathematics से थोड़ा डर रहा है, and you say कि follow your passion. That is the honesty that was needed in this particular episode. We would like to have you again over here, and we would like to have some more intriguing questions and more things. We would like to ask a few more things about IIM Amritsar, if you allow us in the future. But thank you for making this big, and thank you for making this big for Supergrads. Thank you from my side. Thank you from Anil sir's side.
Thank you.
Thanks
a lot, sir.
And thank you very much for having me here. It gives me an opportunity to connect to the prospective students. And once again, congratulations for doing a great work in disseminating the right kind of information and helping the students to take a very important decision in a very well-informed manner. Right. So thank you so much, and I'll be happy to continue the association whichever.
Thank you, sir.
Right? Thank you.